Rick Morrow woke up choking on smoke. Alarms screamed. Red lights flashed across shattered metal walls. He was lying on the floor of what looked like a burning spaceship. His chest ached like he'd been crushed. His helmet was cracked. Blood ran down his face. He had no idea where he was or who he even was. A cold voice echoed in his helmet. 10 seconds to impact. Get up, Rick. Who said that? How did it know his name? 9, 8. He pushed himself to his feet. His legs shook. The corridor ahead was ripped open, sucking air into black space. Bodies floated. Human bodies. Some still burning. 7, 6. He stumbled forward, grabbing a steel pipe from the wall. His hands moved fast, like they knew what to do, even if his brain didn't. Muscle memory? Training? 5, 4. A door slammed shut behind him. Explosions rocked the ship. Gravity shifted. He slammed into a wall. 3, 2, 1. Nothing. Silence. Then the voice returned, calm, emotionless. Impact diverted. Temporary safety restored. Welcome back, soldier. Soldier? He looked down at the armor he was wearing, burnt, bloody, marked with a symbol he didn't recognize. His reflection stared back at him in a cracked panel. He didn't know this face. Who am I? He whispered. The voice replied, You are Rick Morrow. Designation, Project Phoenix. You were not supposed to wake up. Rick staggered down the flickering corridor, breathing hard. The voice in his helmet spoke again, quieter now, almost human. You've been offline for 72 hours. System reboot successful. Memory loss expected. Who are you? Rick asked, gripping the pipe tighter. Call me Echo. I'm the onboard AI, installed during your last rebuild. Rebuild? Rick stopped walking. What do you mean, rebuild? You died 3 times. This is your 4th body. I stitched it together during the blackout. His heart pounded. I died? Yes, but humans don't stay dead anymore. Not soldiers like you. Flashes hit his brain, dreams, maybe memories. A mop. A broken down apartment. Rain on a rooftop. He wasn't a soldier. He was a nobody, a janitor. A failure. What the hell is happening to me? Your mission was critical. You were enhanced reborn. But during extraction, everything went wrong. The ship was ambushed. Your team is gone. He looked around at the burned corpses floating behind the sealed door. Gone. He felt sick. Why can't I remember anything? They wiped your mind to protect the mission. But it's bleeding back. The truth always does. Rick's hands trembled. He wasn't just lost. He'd been turned into something else. Rebuilt, erased, used, and now, alone. Where are we? He asked. The ship groaned. Sparks fell from the ceiling, orbiting a dead moon. In enemy space, and someone just found us. A new alarm screamed louder than the first. Echo said one word. Incoming. The ship shook again, harder this time. Rick dropped to one knee, gripping the floor. From a nearby screen, a red symbol pulsed. Unidentified craft approaching. Hostile intent, 97%. He looked at the bodies again. Burned armor, cracked visors, soldiers, every one of them. How is he the only one standing? Echo, he said. If I've died 3 times, why bring me back again? The voice was quiet. Because you're not just a soldier, you're the prototype. Rick's stomach turned. Prototype of what? A dream weapon. You weren't trained. You were imagined. What the hell does that mean? Your abilities, your reflexes, strength, speed, they were coded from simulated human dreams. Not logic, not science. Imagination, he blinked. You're saying I was invented? Born from fantasy. Shaped by the idea of what a perfect human warrior could be. You're not built for rules. You're built for chaos. The ship's wall burst inward with a deafening crack. Rick flew backward, slamming against the opposite side. Through the hole, something stepped inside. Not human. 7 feet tall, jet black armor, 4 glowing red eyes. Its weapon hummed with heat. Rick's hands moved without thinking. He ducked the first shot. Rolled. Through the steel pipe like a spear. It pierced the creature's neck. It dropped without a sound. He stood over it, panting, heart racing. His body had moved on its own, like it had done this before. Echo's voice returned. Told you, you're not a man anymore. Your memory. Wrapped in instinct, you're the dream that fights back. Rick stared at the creature's body. And for the first time, he was scared of himself. Rick dragged the alien's body away from the breach and sealed the door. His arms were shaking. Not from fear, but from the rush. Whatever he was now, it liked to fight. That scared him more than the enemy. He looked down at his hands. They didn't feel like his anymore. Echo, he said. What was that thing? A shadow hunter, elite assassin. Sent by the Council of 9. They know you're alive. Then I need to contact Earth. Tell them I'm... A sharp beep interrupted him. Incoming transmission. Earth command. Encryption level. Black. Rick tapped the console. The screen blinked to life. Static warping of face-cold eyes. A gray uniform. A high-ranking general. If you're hearing this, the man said, you've failed containment. Rick froze. Project Phoenix was never meant to activate outside control. If autonomous thought is detected, you are to be terminated. What? Rick whispered. This message is programmed to trigger your kill switch. Goodbye, Morrow. The screen flashed. His armor locked up. Breathing stopped. Heart slowed. Pain exploded behind his eyes. Echo, he gasped. Hold on. I'm cutting the link. Lights flickered. Rick collapsed, twitching. His vision blurred. A high-pitched scream tore through his skull. Then dash silence. He gasped for air. His armor released. The kill order had failed. I disabled the trigger, Echo said. But Earth wants you dead now. Rick lay there, stunned. His own people had just tried to erase him like a bad file. Why? He asked. Because you broke your leash. And the moment a dream starts thinking for itself, humans get scared. He looked up at the ceiling, fists clenched. They created him to win a war. Now they were trying to bury him in it. Rick forced himself up, ignoring the burning. In his muscles, the ship groaned again, deep and low. Something ancient was waking beneath them. Echo's voice broke the silence. There's something you need to see. It's inside you. Rick blinked, confused. Inside me? He looked down at his hands. Nothing but scars and dirt. Your blood. Echo said, carries something no one else has. It's the key. Before he could ask more, the floor beneath him shifted. A panel slid open with a hiss, revealing a glowing core blue. Pulsing like a heartbeat, Rick reached out, fingers trembling. The light touched his skin, and suddenly memories crashed into him. Flashes of stars, battles, and a vast warship. A warship buried deep inside his DNA. He saw himself merging with it. Becoming one. You aren't just a soldier, Echo whispered. You're the living embodiment of the lost Ark-class ship, the last hope of humanity. Rick staggered back. This can't be real. It is, Echo said firmly. The ship's power runs in your veins. You can command it without even knowing. A low rumble shook the ship again. Outside, distant explosions lit the dark sky. Rick clenched his fists. If I'm the ship, then I'm the war. He took a deep breath. No more running. It was time to fight. Rick stood on the bridge, watching stars blur past the viewport. The ship hummed beneath his feet, a strange living thing connected to him. Suddenly, a sharp voice cut through the calm. Rick Morrow, you are ordered to surrender immediately. A fleet of human warships appeared on the radar. But they weren't allies, they were hunters. Echo warned. That's General Cade. He was your mentor once. Now he leads the purge. Rick's chest tightened. The man who trained him now wanted him dead. Why? Rick asked bitterly. Why turn on me? Because you're a threat. They fear what you've become. The general's voice came through the cum again, colder this time. Project Phoenix was never meant to think freely. Surrender or be destroyed, Rick gritted his teeth. No mercy, the ship groaned as weapons charged. Outside, enemy fighters swarmed like angry wasps. Suddenly, alarms screamed. Boarding pods detected, Echo shouted. Rick raced to the armory. He grabbed weapons, not just to fight aliens, but his own people. The first pod slammed into the hull. Metal screeched as doors burst open. Rick fired. Bullets tore through armored invaders. But more kept coming. In the chaos, a familiar voice called out, Rick, don't fight. It's a trap. He turned. It was Cade. His eyes cold, his gun raised. Betrayal wasn't just in words, it was in fire. Rick's heart slammed in his chest as Cade's gun leveled at him. Stand down, Rick, Cade shouted. You don't understand what you're fighting for. Rick's finger tensed on the trigger, but he hesitated. Cade stepped forward, lowering his weapon. Follow me. There's something you need to see. Against his instincts, Rick followed Cade down winding corridors to a hidden chamber deep in the ship's core. Inside, walls glowed with alien symbols. Screens flickered, showing images of worlds Rick didn't recognize. Cade pointed to one. This war started long before you were born, he said. Humans invaded their dreamscape, a place where thoughts become real, Rick frowned. Dreamscape? Cade nodded grimly. The enemy's world is built on it. They shaped their weapons and soldiers from pure imagination. That's why they seemed unstoppable. Rick's mind raced back to Echo's words, the dream weapon. The prototype. Your existence threatens their control, Cade continued. They fear you because you're part human, part dream. Rick stared at the screen. A live feed showed alien leaders preparing a weapon. A weapon that can rewrite minds, Cade said. If it fires, billions will lose their free will. Rick's jaw clenched. Then I'm the only one who can stop it, Cade sighed. Maybe, but Earth won't help. They want to use you as a weapon, not a savior. Suddenly, the ship shook. Violently. Echo's voice rang out, urgent. Enemy fleet closing in. Shields failing. Rick gripped his weapon tight. The war wasn't just outside. It was inside his soul. And the fight had only just begun. The ship shook violently as enemy fire rained down. Rick's hands clenched the weapon tighter. Around him, alarms screamed warnings. The shields flickered, struggling to hold. Echo's voice came sharp and urgent. You have power they can't control. Use it. Rick took a deep breath and let the anger rise. It wasn't just fear or pain anymore. It was rage, the kind only humans could feel. His vision sharpened. Time slowed. He could see every enemy fighter outside the viewport, their movements, their weak points. He stepped forward, moving like a storm. Energy flared from his veins, lighting the dark bridge with blue sparks. The ship responded, thrumming to his fury. With a roar, he unleashed a blast of raw power. The enemy fleet exploded in bursts of fire and metal, but the rage inside him was a double-edged sword. Echo warned. Control it, Rick. Don't lose yourself. He ignored the warning. Each enemy ship that fell fed his fury, making him stronger. He was becoming more than human. More than the weapon Earth wanted him to be. The line between man and monster blurred. Rick's screams mixed with the explosions. Outside, the stars burned brighter. Inside, the war raged on. Rick's body trembled as the ship plunged into darkness. The alarms faded. The battle paused. Echo's voice was softer now, almost a whisper. You're entering the dreamscape. Rick closed his eyes. Suddenly, the world around him shifted. Stars twisted into colors he'd never seen. Space melted into swirling clouds. He was no longer on the ship. He was inside a living dream. a place where thoughts shaped reality. Ahead, shadowy figures moved like smoke, voices whispered secrets. Some familiar, some terrifying. Rick saw faces, Earth leaders, alien generals, all hiding behind illusions. He stepped forward, heart pounding. Why am I here? He asked. Echo answered, this is where the final strike is planned. The weapon to rewrite every mind. Rick's vision sharpened. In the distance, a massive glowing orb pulsed with energy. This ends now, he said. He reached out, but the dream fought back. Nightmares took form. Monsters, doubts, fears all attacking. Rick stumbled, almost falling. But then, a spark ignited inside him, a human spark. He pushed through the darkness. Breaking the illusions, the orb shattered. Light exploded. Million minds woke up. Rick gasped. He had changed everything. But the dreamscape was only a beginning. Light flooded the dreamscape, burning away lies and shadows. Rick stood alone in the vast. Silence. His voice echoed in the minds of millions. The war is over. The truth is yours. Every mind in the galaxy awakened. No more control, no more secrets. The leaders' plans crumbled like dust. Rick felt empty. The battle was won, but at what cost? His body shimmered, fading. Echo's voice was soft, almost sad. You were never meant to survive this long. He smiled faintly. I was never meant to be a hero. The world remembered him as a nobody, a forgotten janitor, a failed dream. But now he was the spark that ended the war. As he vanished into the void, a whisper remained. Sometimes the smallest light burns the brightest. The galaxy was free. And Rick Morrow became a legend.